Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. You are listening to a rebroadcast of a previously recorded show.
Neil S. Haley, Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest, Neil Haley. And Eric Remmel always throws me some curveballs, but he always knows I can handle these curveballs. But I feel like maybe a spitball was thrown today. But thank you. He's finally reached out to help me out at times because Eric's doing all the great things over at the Life Improvement Radio studios that I have a co-host. So I can kind of share her knowledge with our audience. So I want to welcome to the program Cindy Stovall. And Cindy, can you tell us your background in the show you do at Life Improvement Radio, and then we're going to introduce our author.
Hi, it's a pleasure to co-host with you today. I have a show here on Life Improvement Radio called Beauty in the Burg, and we focus all about theater, art, culture, literary arts, anything that brings beauty to the Burg. And that's what my show is about.
Well, we need to bring beauty to the Burg in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to welcome the program, and wow, this guy's amazing. Author Joachim de Posada. He is a bilingual international motivational speaker, radio and TV personality, author of 4 books, and a newspaper columnist. Joaquin, thanks for stopping by Author's Corner, and I was checking out your resume, and it's quite extensive and very interesting.
Very impressive.
Well, thank you so much. This fair is doing very well. I have lots of excitement, and I really appreciate you interviewing me.
Absolutely, and so for our listeners, I was giving you kind of that background knowledge, but until we get to the book. But is this the first time you've attended the Mighty Book Fair, Joaquin?
No, I have attended in the past, and this is the second time I present at the book fair. So for me, it's always a very excitement moment when the fair goes on. Thousands of people, lots of books. I tell you, I feel in heaven.
And you know, I feel in heaven talking to these great authors because I learn something every day. And once this is over, when you do about 3 to 4 to 5 hours straight radio, it's such a worthwhile experience, but yet you have a headache at that point in between. And Cindy, Joaquin's background knowledge as a motivational speaker is just quite interesting, Cindy, to say the least, for sure.
Absolutely. And I was just reading the bio as well, and I'm seeing a theme in your books involving marshmallow. So your latest is Please Don't Eat the Marshmallow. Tell us what that's all about.
Well, actually, Don't Eat the Marshmallow is the first of the 3.
Oh, okay. I was reading that it was the latest. I apologize.
No problem. The one I'm presented here at the fair is Keep Your Eye on the Marshmallow.
Keep your eye on the marshmallow.
Verse 3. But it's a very interesting concept. It actually all started in the University of Stanford when a psychology professor named Walter Mischel, he took 600 kids one by one, placed them in a room with a marshmallow, and he told the child, Johnny or Mary, I'm going to leave you here with a marshmallow. If when I come back, the marshmallow is here, you'll get 2. If you eat it, you get nothing else. So to tell a 4-year-old kid to wait 15 minutes for something they like, it's like you and I wait 4 hours for a cup of coffee. It's a long, long time. So what happened? 2 out of 3 ate the marshmallow in 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, 2, 3, 5 minutes. They could not stand that temptation to eat the marshmallow. But 1 out of 3 already understood at 4 the most important principle for success, which is the ability to delay gratification. So that child would look at the marshmallow, put it back, go under the table, look at the ceiling, play with his skirt or with his pants. That kid already knew, I am not eating this because I'm getting another one. So 15 years later, follow-up study, what did they find? 100% of the children that did not eat the marshmallow, they were all successful. Their SAT exam grades were 213 points higher than the kids that ate the marshmallow.
That's amazing.
Doing great. And the kids that ate the marshmallow, many of them dropped out, never went to college. They were working low-paying jobs. They had bad grades. Only a few, something changed them, like a coach, like a father, a mother. Something changed them. But most were not doing good.
So some aspect of discipline translates into great leadership skills and ultimately success.
Exactly. That's a very, very important trait for leaders. The ability to delay gratification, the ability to plan long-term, the ability to make sacrifices, that's very much part of leadership.
That's fascinating. So that's what pulls the marshmallow through your whole series of books then.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, interesting that you say that, because even though it has been a bestseller in the States, it sold maybe about 40,000 copies. in the rest of the world, especially in Asian countries like Korea, China, Thailand, is sold 3 million copies. A lot more than here. Why? Because in those cultures, what I am talking about is part of their culture, and they love it.
It's so interesting when you say that, Joachim, and I guess an adversity leads to, if you keep that focus, and when you're talking about other cultures and other countries, they're going through sometimes a lot more pain than the U.S., meaning financially, this is their only opportunity, and things like that. Are you speaking to mostly entrepreneurs in this book, or is this anyone that's going through life in certain ways?
Well, in this last book, I am speaking to professionals or to entrepreneurs or to even athletes, because what came out in this new book is new research where now, besides the marshmallow principle, there are two other ones that are extremely important. And one of them, of course, is trust. Trust. That's a very important principle. And the other one is the grit factor, G-R-I-T, grit, perseverance, not letting go of your objective. Those two with the marshmallow experiment, with the marshmallow principle, those three principles are extremely important for anyone to get ahead.
Yes, absolutely, and it's something that you have to do. And Cindy, I guess in a lot of ways, in your line of work as well, Cindy, you have to keep that focus and not lose focus on why you're doing something, right?
No question about it. You really have to keep your eye on the ball, and follow through is very important. And when you make a commitment, you follow through with it, and so many of these principles, I think, is what Joachim is talking about. All of the good principles of great management and success.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Having those principles of success, what do you recommend, Joachim, when life happens and you're trying to keep that, as you said, the eye on the marshmallow, and things are really going bad that you just are almost ready to give up? What recommendation would you give our listeners?
Well, I always say something that I say in my book, and I say that your life is your own damn fault. Whatever happens, it's your fault.
I love it.
You have to recognize it. And that way, if you recognize it, then you start acting on it. It's not providence, it's not, other people. It's actually you are the one that makes the decision. So I always tell people, first of all, know who you are. Understand your strengths. What is it that you're good at? And then try to do that often and often so you get obviously very, very happy doing what you like, and that might even develop into a career or a hobby or something that will keep you successful. And I also, of course, self-discipline, that's extremely important. You have to start little by little. Start doing small things. Don't try to do the whole thing at the beginning. If you have a problem with eating, you know what? Start by cleaning your refrigerator and take out all the stuff that tempts you to eat. And that way you won't have temptation close to you. Some of the kids that did not eat the marshmallow, actually, they did not have the self-discipline that we're talking about. What they did is they were very smart. What they did is that they took they simply decided, you know what, I will eat the marshmallow if I look at it. So let me do something else. Let me distract my attention so that I will not fall into temptation. And by doing that way they were successful. So you don't even have to have that much self-discipline. You can even go around it by doing stuff that will make you a self-disciplined person.
A little bit of common sense goes a long way.
Let's say you don't like to save money. Okay, you don't like to save money. You know what? You spend everything that comes to your pocket. Well, you know what? Then tell your employer, hey, deduct 10% where I don't see it. It'll never get to me. And that way it'll build up, and you have nothing to do with it.
Joachim, I have a question for you. How do you manage your time so well between your column and traveling for motivational speaking and writing? How do you manage to fit all of that in your schedule?
Well, actually, it's a very good question. I am very good at time management because I was very bad at it. In other words, I was very bad in time management. So what I did is since I'm so bad at it, let me teach time management. So I hooked up with a company that teaches time management called Franklin Covey. I don't know if you heard of it. It was started by, actually Franklin and Covey, Stephen Covey and a guy named Smith got together and put the company together. So I had to teach that thing, and that way I disciplined myself into having time management. So I am very organized. I have my schedule. I know exactly where I have to be. And I, of course, are very aware of doing what's important instead of what's urgent. A lot of people are always living life doing urgent and important, and and they're always putting out fires, and that of course will work against you. Our goal should be to bring down the fires, and then bring up the time you spend planning and building relationships and doing stuff that will be better for you in the long term.
Well, it makes perfect sense.
That definitely makes sense, Joaquin. And if you don't have that time management skill set, you really are not going. You're not going to accomplish that. Finding that marshmallow, because a lot of times what I see, and that's a great point you made, Cindy, is people that cannot manage their time or pick the right things to focus on their goals, dreams, and aspirations. They miss out, and then they forget about that marshmallow because things get in the way. And Joaquin, I see that for sure. And so, where is the best place people can purchase your book, Joaquin, and learn more about you? Where can we go?
Okay, well, Books and Books has it here in the fair. I'm going to be presenting at 2:30, which you're already invited to attend. And Amazon has it, Barnes & Noble, every major bookstore, so you can find it anywhere.
Well, fantastic, Joaquin. And for motivating so many people across the world, what is your ultimate goal? I mean, in doing the speaking and stuff, do you want to reach more and more of the U.S.? As you said, that you have really you're worldwide known, but is the goal now, especially being at the Miami Book Fair, to get to more and more people in the U.S. this message?
Yes. I actually go to 60 countries, but my goal is to try to influence and help people be more successful, and as many places as I can go. My goal now is my next book. I'm working on it. It's going to be called Love Dad, How to Divorce Your Spouse Without Divorcing Your Kids. And I'm working pretty hard at it with my daughter, and hopefully we'll do very well with that book and help a lot of people.
Well, you're helping a lot of people, and you're very inspiring, and I saw all the people you've been able to help, and it was great chatting with you, and best of luck, Joaquin.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your interview, and see you soon.
All right, take care. All right, you're listening to Author's Corner, powered by Life Improvement Radio and the Soul Education Network, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you for listening to Life Improvement Radio. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own and shall not be construed in any way as advice from Life Improvement Radio. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our website. Personal perspectives expressed by the producers, writers, or editors will always be presented as such. Any rebroadcast or retransmission without the expressed written consent of Life Improvement Radio is strictly prohibited. Thanks for listening.